All right, guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Haha, little joke there. Anyway, probably not very funny. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about this. What happened to Elephant Money yesterday? Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm one of the a YouTuber that likes to follow up when things go wrong. It I was trying to figure out everything what was happening yesterday because I had quite a bit invested in this, and you'll actually see that when I go to some other parts of this. Um, and it was a tough day. Um, there's a lot of people that really thought Elephant Money was a very secure place, and even the bigger guys were piling into the staking because it was essentially a stable coin staking where you could make like over 100% APY, basically on a stable coin. So, there's a lot of people that got into that. And, a lot of people focus on the elephant token. And yes, there were a lot of people that had, stake in the elephant token. But there were a lot of people that use that staking, rightfully so, because you look at this compared to Anchor Protocol, and you can, over a year you can like make 5 times as much on this, essentially with what everybody thought was very, very stable. So yeah, let's talk about this. I retweeted this from Blocksec, and you can actually you can go on Twitter and follow this, and they actually detail exactly what happened with the flash loan, running up prices and then dumping, and then repeating the process over and over and taking like 4 million each time. And it just crashed. Really crashed Elephant token. You can't see it on this chart, but if we look at the week, it's down 74%, and pretty much all of that was from yesterday. And that being said, it actually went down 85% yesterday. In a matter of like 15 minutes, it just crashed and went down. The problem with that is when we go over to Trunk, Trunk being the stablecoin, it says that it's collateralized 75% with BUSD and the other 25% with Elephant token. So an Elephant token crashed, that 25% that Trunk was on, Trunk just tanked as well. And you can see it went down to it was writing about 77 cents to the dollar, to the BUSD anyway. So yeah, that 25% that it was built on went down 85%. So that really crashed that stable coin. And let me explain what happened after that, and you can see, I'll tell you why it went down even lower than that. It started to recover. People started buying it and thinking, oh, it's a really good buy right now, because if it goes back, goes back up to $1, I'll make 25% on this thing, very easily. So there were some buy-ins, and it got up here, and then I don't know. I think Elephant token or Elephant Money themselves created a problem that didn't need to happen. They should have really focused on one thing instead of trying to fix one problem by creating another. There were a lot of people staked over here in the staking pool that had a lot of money locked up. They saw this as even Elephant Money themselves put out a tweet about staking and called this your bank because it's so stable. So there's so many people that jumped into that staking pool, staking what was supposed to be essentially a stable coin. And so there's a lot of people in there. So what they did is they took out a bunch of BUSD that was basically the collateral for the stable coin, and they went and bought a bunch of Elephant token with it. And that brought up the Elephant token like, I don't know, 10%, but this is what it did to that stable coin. It dropped, and it got down to 58 cents on the dollar. And I don't know, there was a lot of people, I'm sure, that were I was pretty upset because I had a lot of money in that savings account as well. but I just kind of held on to it, and I actually withdrew it and have held it in my wallet for a while, just wondering what's going to happen. Um, so yeah, and you can see there's a lot of people. It's come back up to about 75 cents where it should have been when this fell. But if we look through these transactions, you can see some, this is a big buy, but these guys were waiting until it went up a bit, 122,000, 47,000. There were a lot of giant withdrawals through this period because they were taking out as it went up. But I think they were also playing this too. There was a lot of people that came in here, bought in here with huge amounts, and then sold up here, and then bought and then sold, and bought and sold. But when this all went down, I mean, there are a lot of buys and sells of pretty large amounts, and it just kind of goes back and forth. So I guess, yeah, what they're saying is they're going to be taking from a different treasury of some kind and buying back into Trunk to try to bring it back up to peg. But I don't know. If something like this can happen, I'd rather go over to a better protocol. I might not make as much, but if I want to stake some stable coin, I might jump over into Anchor or something. And if you guys want me to do a review over there, I mean, they've got like 17 billion total value locked over there. So if you guys want me to do a review on that one, I can. I put a lot over into there. Anyway, that's kind of what's happened, guys. I actually when it bottomed out, I bought a little bit. I bought a few hundred worth before, and it went from like $200 to like $20 worth, and then I ended up buying another $100 worth, anticipating it can go back up, and it's been slowly recovering. Yeah, I'm not sure what the future looks like for Elephant Money, but that's kind of what happened. Everybody's like, oh, it's a rug pull. Like, I don't know. You can tell when something's a rug pull. Basically, everything disappears. When things like this happen, Telegram, they shut off new messages. They were banning some people that were coming in. I think they were kind of spamming the admins and trying to get stuff, and they were trying to work things out. I'm not trying to make excuses for the devs, but if somebody rugs something, it's pretty obvious because everything just goes to zero and there's nothing left, and they will either leave the site up and there'll be nothing left, or just the site will disappear and there'll be nothing to connect to, things like that. But if you watch on like Dex Screener and things like that, and the values are steadily increasing, and then they also on their Telegram group, they linked to a Medium article where they kept doing updates and stuff like that. People at Rug don't do things like that. They're not still putting out some kind of communication. They're just taking the millions and running and just disappearing, and working on where to dump everything into an exchange or something so it can't be traced by the blockchain. So anyway, guys, that's kind of what's happened with Elephant Money. They're still trying to work on recovering this thing from that. They say they have insurance around it. I don't know what that looks like, or if how long that might be, if they can get anything for that insurance they had. But yeah, it might be a while before this thing gets back up to peg, the Trunk token. Until then, I'm just kind of holding and waiting to see what happens. Yeah, anyway, I mean, if it gets back up to peg, I'll probably just dump it anyway and get into something more stable. That's kind of my plan. Of course, I still have my bond over there in Stampede, and I'll just keep that and just keep rolling it over and taking profit every once in a while. But that you don't really have an option for. So yeah, I'll probably keep doing Stampede and just kind of dollar cost averaging into elephant for the time being. That's kind of my plan. But that's kind of the state of elephant money. Anyway, guys, go ahead and leave any comments below if you have anything to add to this, or if you saw anything different on your end with elephant money. I'm always interested to hear it. Go ahead and like the video if you like it. Hit subscribe if you want to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.